What it is, guys, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at y'all with, well, not the video I promised you guys on Sunday. That is actually incoming this evening. Unfortunately, I have to re-record it. Apologies, but I just got to re-record it. So, we will handle this stuff, what is coming out this week, and boy howdy, there's some good stuff. Boy howdy, there's some good stuff. Man, my Southern is showing right about now. Let's get into it. We've got a new bell. This bell is actually not all that bad. As always, we'll go down to his skill. First skill is foes, plural, fast low water attack. We're going back into the water meta. Water physical attack with ultra run counter rate, and foes, strength and magic and agility minus 30% for 2 turns. So, I like Krazo in that respect. Skill number 2, super water physical attack with ultra run guard rate, temporary strength boost. Remove foes' strength and magic buffs. Strength and magic buffs. Super useful unit. 3, foes singular. It's kind of the way we've been going with all these. High water physical attack with ultra penetration rate. Temporary strength boost. Allies removes ailment status. So any kind of like poisons, stuns, seals, things like that, removes them. So super useful unit, especially for those of you that are going up against stall teams. Super useful unit. This might be the Hero 3 breaker. We'll see what happens with that, but definitely want this unit. Now, we have a new Tsubaki. Oh, I'm sorry, we'll get to Tsubaki in a second. We have a new Aisha. The new Aisha, let's talk about what she does. Skill 1, foe singular, slow earth physical attack with high unguard rate, self-strength and earth damage plus 70% for 2 turns. Did that just say 70%? Not bad. We haven't seen a big skill jump like that in a minute, but I see something in her essay that I want to cover too. I didn't cover Belle's essay, but I'll get back to that in a second. Skill number 2, foe singular, fast mid-earth physical attack with high penetration rate, remove strength buffs and acceptance as skills. So she's removes strength buffs, not magic buffs like Belle does. So kind of a redundant in that regard. Then 3, foe singular, slow super earth physical attack for each strength buff on self, skill damage plus 80% after using after using skill. Not sure what that quite means. Not sure if it's on the next turn. Interesting. Anyway, removes strength buffs on herself, except obviously wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Removes strength buffs except assist skills. Removes her own strength buffs? That can't be right. Must be on the... Why would she remove her own strength buff? Something in this translation seems wonky. It says, yes, she removes her own buff or STR buffs on... Why would she do that? That's weird. Unless that's the skill... Unless she removes it and then she uses the skill damage for the rest of them. I don't know what that's about. I'd have to assess that a little more and see how much sense that makes. So apparently, she removes her own strength buff. Her essay, foe singular ultra earth physical attack for each strength buff on herself, skill damage plus 80%. So why would she remove her? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really don't understand it. Because it becomes useless then with the essay. I'm not really sure how I feel about this unit. Anyway, and foe single target resist minus 25% for 1 turn. Now, once again, we know that can be replicated, but yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I really don't know about this unit. I've got to do a little more research on this unit. Let's talk about Belle's super attacks. I forgot to talk about it. Their special attack. Foes, plural, ultra unguard rate, physical attack with ultra unguard rate. I'm sorry. Foes, start over from the beginning there. Foes, ultra water physical attack with ultra unguard rate, with temporary strength boost, self-strength, water, and agility damage plus 85% for 3 turns. So that's pretty cool, but it only applies to himself. It doesn't apply to everybody. He's pretty, he's pretty selfish with those buffs. Now, I'm still trying to figure out what Aisha's about. The unit just doesn't make sense to me. We're going to have to do a little more research on that. She probably warrants her own video. I'm sure she's better than I'm expecting, but it just seems weird, that last skill. Anyway, if you've got a clue what that's about, put it in the comments section down below, because I'm a little confused as to why that would be the case. Tsubaki, who I promised a while ago. Okay? Skill 1, foes, plural, mid-water physical attack with penetration rate, with ultra penetration rate. Everybody seems to have ultra penetration right now. Foes, plural, physical and water resistance minus 30% for 3 turns. That's super handy. Super handy. Especially with Record Buster coming up later this week. Spoiler alert. Though that is a foes plural and we kind of want singular units. Anyway, I'm gonna leave Aisha alone and we'll talk about her in her own video. Foes plural for skill 2. Fast, high water, physical attack with ultra encounter rate, like everybody seems to have right now. Allies 50% magic nullifier. What? So you guys know that. So I actually be going after her. You guys know the that Chloe we got not terribly long ago, the swimsuit Chloe. She does that for physical units. That's really awesome when we finally have one of those for magic. I kind of thought that was eventually going to come down the pike, but there we go. So basically, what happens is all of your allies basically flip a coin. Heads, they take damage. Tails, they don't. And it's pretty straightforward like that. I mean, you physically don't see the coin flip, but you get the idea. It's a 50% chance for all of your units on your team to nullify 1 magic attack. That's crazy good. I'll be going after her for certain. 3, foe, singular, high water physical attack with ultra unguard rate for each physical resist on foe. Yeah, based on your foe. Skill damage, plus 35%. Passive. Her passive is a water counter, so all the damage she does is with the water skill added. 50% counter damage. Worm killer. Okay, so when we're up against, like, I'm imagining that's probably dragons, not, like, worm. That probably should have been with a Y. I'm thinking that's probably the worm with a Y. So we don't have any worms in the game. Like, we don't have, like, giant earthworms you fight or anything like that. Unless it's the grubs, too. It could be the caterpillar grubs. I'm guessing, though, based on the Record Buster, it looks like the Familiar Rush we're going to be getting. I'm guessing that's going to be dragons. Probably worm with a Y. SA. Foes, plural, ultra water physical attack with ultra critical rate, temporary strength boost, and allies magic null times 1. So she's all about nullifying that skill. Very good. Yeah, looking forward to that unit a lot. Ryu. Let's talk about what she does. New Ryu. Skill number 1. Fast. Allies slow resist plus 100%. Whoa. You know, our Record Busters always attack with slow. Removes that slow. That's actually super handy. You at least want one of her. Guard, physical, and magic resistance plus 25% for 4 turns. That's a good one. Foes, plural, fast, high, earth, magic attack, and foes, dex, magic, and earth resist minus 25% for 2 turns. Skill 3, foe, singular, high, earth, magic attack with ultra penetration rate. For each magic resist debuff on that foe you're attacking, skill damage plus 35%. So, pretty good. And her passive is an earth counter, physical and magic resist plus 25%, and she's also a worm killer. Once again, whether that's like those caterpillar things we fight, or dragons, I'm going to guess dragons. Look at her attire, it just kind of says it makes sense. I'm going to go on a limb and say that's probably worm with a Y. So, yeah. That 100% slow resist is super handy. Super duper handy. Okay? Now, what is this? Yes. We are getting an app update. App update is coming 9.22, and it's going to have a few interesting things in it. One, they're going to change what your box looks like, which actually kind of is going to be nice. It's hard to go through the box sometimes. One thing I utterly love, we can now do multis with our tickets. So if you have like 10 tickets, you can click that, bam, do a multi with them. That severely reduces the amount of time it takes to do tickets, especially for those of us to get crazy numbers of tickets. Okay? Boom. The ticket pool is being updated on the 19th of December. So if you have some tickets that you still have that are good for another, 30 or 20, even 20 or 30 days, I want to hold on to them. They're going to become useful even more so. Basically, whenever they do this update, they add some of the other 4 stars. I'm assuming the anime 4 stars are getting added that haven't already been added, plus probably the previous, the non-time limited 4 stars that we've had for a while now. So, yep. One thing I do want to mention here, and it is notated specifically, this is the player box, not the album. So your player box is now going to look a lot more like the album does. But also, now that we have so many units in the game, it's going to be a lot easier to go through that. Okay? The new tail, that is being added here shortly. I believe that is actually being added this Wednesday. We also have Record Buster. Oh, you know what? I take it back. That's a heroic trial. That's the heroic trial for Belle and Tsubaki. So, we haven't talked about the recent heroic trial. I will cover that tonight. We'll cover it tonight in case you haven't done it already. It was supposed to be here Sunday. Something happened to the video file. I've just got to re-record it. So, my apologies, guys. But, Record Buster incoming this week. Familia Rush incoming, I believe that's next week. I don't think it's this week. We'll find out here in a second, though. War Games is coming back next week. It's an actual full-on War Games, not like the War Games we've got now. So, be ready for that. Start preparing your units and think about some of those new units that you could actually use on that team. Okay? CP Item Quest drops on Wednesday. You need to do this every day. And you remember the ice trick still works, apparently. I don't know if the app update is going to change that. Kind of hope not, but also, I think my feels on that were pretty apparent in the video that I made. I think it's cheating, but so long as it's out there on the table and everybody knows it's there, we're all on equal standing. So, this week, coming, we're getting the Holy Tale Part 2. We're getting the new winter bundles. The new heroic trial is dropping. Record Buster is dropping as well. And the CP Item Quest. All 5 of those things are coming on Wednesday. Now, unfortunately, guys, there will not be a live stream on Wednesday. At least best I can tell at the moment. I apologize. It's just going to be a thing. The live streams will resume, at least for Danmachi, on Sunday. We'll resume live streaming on Friday, but that's going to be our usual Friday night kind of free-for-all thing. So, tune back in on Sunday. We'll talk about all this. Then next Wednesday, we're getting the Familia Rush and the new War Games. So, yeah, War Games singular. Whatever. I've always pluralized it for some reason, but that's just a thing. So, all this good stuff is upcoming, guys. And there's going to be another app update. We get so many updates in this game, and I don't see that as necessarily a bad thing. Despite the fact the size of the game file is insane right now. But nonetheless, let me know if you guys are hyped in the comments section down below. Make sure you subscribe and hit that little notification bell to stay up to date with all of this stuff. Other than that, guys, that's going to be the video. I will lay your asses out with more Danmachi and more hype action. And so long as the video file stays with me more than my voice, apparently, we'll have another video this evening. See you then.